Killer Sofa is about a recliner that hangs out in a girl's apartment and kills people. The title claims it's a sofa, but it's a recliner. I don't think they know what a sofa is. It starts off with this guy spazzing out and bleeding all over a picture. And there's a recliner behind him. Then some dude comes in and cuts his legs off. Okay. I guess this took place in a storage unit and these three are here to pick up the recliner. Francesca is dancing at some club and these two detectives, Bob and Roseanne, come to ask her and her friend Maxie questions about the murder of a guy named Federico. Probably the guy in the storage unit. Turns out Francesca and Federico were dating and she broke up with him for being so dedicated.
Dedicated. The guy was obsessed.
You see where this is going? And that this happens quite often. Back at the storage unit, these three are moving the recliner and this girl grabs it in the worst possible way and cuts her hand open. Oh yeah, it's completely the chair's fault, she's stupid. This guy, I have no idea what his name is, delivers the chair to the wrong address, just so this old guy can touch it and have a vision of some girl running in the forest. At Francesca's apartment, her boyfriend TJ gets the recliner in, so everything's good. But maybe not, because the recliner is something called a debuk. Basically an evil spirit that takes over living people, but has to constantly feed on souls to stay alive. Hang on, I thought this was called Killer Sofa, not Killer Recliner. Sofas and recliners are two very different things. That night, Maxie goes over to Francesca's place, and as she's leaving, she sees the recliner looking at her through the window, but then it disappears. So I guess this thing can move around? Anyway, Francesca is relaxing on the sofa, chair, and we get the most sexualized leg rest lift ever. And this scene just gets weird from there. Use your imagination. She then wakes up in her bed like, what just happened? Did she just do it with a ghost? I don't want to know. Jack is watching a video about how the debuk feeds on the weak and touching it can cause severe health problems. Well, he already screwed that up. The next morning, Francesca finds some candles leading to the chair with some snacks on it. She thinks TJ did it, but he did not. Aw, the chair made her breakfast. How nice. But TJ takes the credit. What a dick. At the police station, Bob finds out Federico was into voodoo and had this creepy Francesca doll.
What a freak.
Seriously. So he asks Francesca about it and she reveals that she has a knack for men getting obsessed with her. Back at home, TJ is making a pizza and the chair starts moving closer and he just ignores it even though it's obviously getting closer to him with noise and everything. So since he's oblivious, the recliner stabs him with a spring. Turns out this old guy's name is Jack and he's the disgraced rabbi. Not sure why that's important, but this movie thinks it is. After the attack, TJ is staying at his mom's house and needs water for his pill. So he decides he's gonna put the pill in his mouth and limp to the water pitcher, because what could go wrong with that? He then looks out the window and this recliner has dragged itself like 3 houses down to his mom's house. So he chokes on the pill and falls over. This character is so dumb. At least the chair kills him or feeds on his soul or whatever is happening here. Jack is having another vision and sees the recliner and this woman in the forest kill herself for some reason. Since this movie likes to bounce around so much, Francesca wakes up in the middle of the night because she thinks she heard an intruder. But when she goes to the living room, the chair moves and she freaks out and calls Maxie because she's gonna help so much. They go to Maxie's place and the chair is all mad that she left. The next day, Francesca is leaving her house to go to the police station. Wait, what was the point of them leaving if the next scene was gonna be here anyway? Whatever, one of her exes stops by and she blows him off. And he breaks into her house, so guess what she's gonna find when she gets home. She says that guy Ralph might be the one who killed TJ, so now he's a murder suspect. Back at her place, this idiot is bugging her house with cameras. Look at that, even the killer chair is like, are you serious, dude? Making it look like a face was such a good idea. He then does literally the creepiest thing I have ever seen, and thank God the chair kills him for it. I'm starting to question if this chair is really all that bad. Well, Francesca is staying in a hotel now and Jack tells Maxie that the chair is possessed and they need to bring it there. So Maxie decides I'll go alone, so she goes and sees dead Ralph getting dragged to the balcony by the chair and thrown off the ledge. What is going on? It then sees her and starts running after her. Look at her, even she's like, is this movie serious? She then tries to carefully climb out the window. How does that work out? I'm gonna guess not very well. Wait, is she dead? I almost feel bad for laughing now. Anyway, back at the hotel, Francesca is hearing the recliner speaking to her from the drain at her house, even though that's not how drains work. Then the detectives randomly show up to take her to the house to check on Maxie. So the detectives find Ralph's body and the chair starts whispering to Francesca again, so she freaks out and bails. Maxie's grandpa calls Francesca to help her get rid of the book. So she goes to his house, and are you ready for all of this to just get convoluted? Well, turns out the chair is saying Valerie, who was the woman who killed herself, she did this because her and her husband Gerald practiced witchcraft and were soul eaters, who poisoned their victims with flower tea. When they got found out, Gerald was burned at the stake and Valerie killed herself in front of a woman named Mary St. Clair, who's Francesca's great-grandmother. Mary also had men become obsessed with her because Valerie moved her soul into Mary's body, and was moving from parent to child for generations, and is now currently living inside Francesca, and that's why she has a knack for making men obsessed with her. Got all that? Yeah, neither do I. Let's just move forward. Oh, and Gerald's soul is in a recliner and it got there through Federico.
But something's still not right here. A Dybbuk always needs a human body to cling to.
If Federico is in a recliner, I'm done. So their plan is to put the Dybbuk in boxes and burn them, because it's completely gonna be that simple. Francesca has some weird dream thing, and when she snaps out of it, she sees this poor guy obviously having heart problems, and she asks what she can do to help, and he's obviously pointing at the pills on the counter, but this dumbass goes, "Oh, the box," grabs it and says, "I'll call for help," and leaves him there. How stupid is she? She just killed that guy.
Jack! It's an emergency. I need an ambulance.
At least his wife isn't a complete dumbass. At the police station, Bob is questioning this guy who's a vet about why he cut Federico's legs off. Turns out he asked him so he would be able to fit inside a recliner. Who saw that coming? Oh yeah, everyone. Meanwhile, Rosetta is at Ralph's apartment and finds all the recordings he had of Francesca and sees the couch move. And Francesca goes to her house to get the book in the box by asking it to.
Just get into the box!
What a surprise! That didn't work. So she pours gas on it and tries to light it on fire by holding the match up so the chair can blow it out. She does this like 4 times. Just light it and drop it, you stupid moron. I literally don't feel sorry for whatever is about to happen to her. She deserves it. Then the recliner stands up and starts walking towards her. And Bob shows up, shoots the recliner, and then Federico, who was inside. Yeah, I'm done with this. Well, we're almost done. Francesca goes to the bathroom to take some pills, spills them on the floor, and while she's picking them up, what I assume is Valerie grabs her, even though I thought she was already in Francesca. Screw it, and eats her soul and takes her body. Oh look, Maxie is still alive. I guess I don't have to feel bad for laughing now.
Are you okay?
Are you freaking kidding me? Okay then, that night, Bob is talking with Francesca while drinking flower tea. And Maxie is researching the books and finds out they can use corpses to hold souls and transfer into inanimate objects temporarily, because they need to change the rules in order to have a scary ending. Back at the house, Bob realizes he got poisoned and dies, so Gerald's soul gets transferred to his body. Detective Roseanne walks in on this and Valerie kills her. And Maxie is there for no reason other than to witness this and see Francesca's soul trapped in the chair. This movie is unintentionally hilarious. The idea of a killer chair is just ridiculous and the execution is pretty bad. The first problem is they call this killer sofa when this thing is a recliner, not a sofa. They're 2 different things with different names. I don't know if this is a culture thing. It was made in New Zealand, so maybe sofa and recliner are interchangeable there. I don't know. The characters make ridiculous choices that make everything worse, like Federico's decision to get his legs cut off to fit in a sofa, or that Francesca even took the damn thing to begin with. Although she did prove not to be too bright with grabbing the box instead of helping the old guy who was obviously having medical issues, or holding the match up so the recliner can blow it out instead of just lighting the match and dropping it on the floor. The acting is fine, not the worst I've seen. Piimio May isn't too bad as Francesca. When she's calm, her acting is alright, she's at least moderately believable, but she is really bad when she's scared or panicking. Natalie Morris is not very good as Maxie. I feel like she has the same emotional level no matter what her character goes through. Jed Brophy is probably the best actor in this. I don't know how they got someone who was in the entire Hobbit trilogy in this, but at least they got them some known talent. He can actually show emotion and his performance is believable. The visual effects are alright, especially because most of the movie doesn't use any. They only had 1 recliner, so they had to be careful not to ruin it. As a result, most of the movement is just them pushing it around. The moment when it stands up and starts walking looks goofy, but it also doesn't look too bad. It's still completely ridiculous, and the recliner is on a sofa, but whatever. Don't forget to do the YouTube stuff, and thanks for watching.